think like most Dolphins fans, happy that we won because in the end, that's all that really matters is winning. And they did do that against the lowly Saints, 21-17. But I think like most Dolphins fans, I'm just frustrated with the way we won. My friend Carol texts me. So this is Carol from Lighthouse Point, and McDaniel is the dumbest coach ever. You may not be able to say that, but McDaniel is not a smart clock guy. I don't know if you saw it, Grouper, but at the end of that first half, they didn't even try to go for a touchdown. They just sat on the ball and spiked the ball and kicked the field goal. And it wasn't a chip shot either.
No, that was the other thing. I was wondering, why didn't you just go for more yardage to get a closer field goal at that point? Because it wasn't a chip shot field goal at that point. But, that it really kind of confounds me a lot of times, the decisions that Mike McDaniel makes. Because what you think and what is textbook should be done, he does not do.
Ask you a hard question. In that situation, okay, I'm going to make it easy, then I'm going to make it even just as easy. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, do they do the exact same thing?
No.
Do 31 other quarterbacks in the league do anything different? All of them do. I've never seen a team do that. Just sit on the ball and spike. If it's the end of the game, that's different.
Right.
At halftime, when you're up 16-0?
No, you pour it on. I'm sorry.
They had chances to kill this team today.
Or, like I said, what I thought they were going to do was, I thought for sure they were going to get more yardage to at least get a closer field goal, because I didn't see them going for a touchdown. I thought at that time it was going to be, we're just going to get a closer field goal, get Riley Patterson to make a chip shot, and that'd be the end of it. But no, we left it as a longer field goal. I didn't understand that. I mean, I guess he was concerned about a turnover, maybe.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. You throw something to the sidelines, get it quick out, get out of bounds, get some extra yards, maybe take a shot at the end zone, maybe do both. There was a lot of time left. That seems like a quarterback and a coach that don't trust each other very much.
Well, I think you're playing scared. And the way I'm kind of looking at that is that if you're that scared of your roster, what does that say?
I have no clue. 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines. 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Fred calling from Phoenix.
Go ahead, Fred.
I just have a few points I just want to make. Random thoughts. One, this is just a bad organization, period, led by a bad owner. When you have a bad owner, you're never going to be successful. That's number one. Evidence of that. How many owners would have a general manager in place for 10 years with 0 playoff wins, and it took 10 years before they let go of this guy? Okay? That's on Ross. Tua is horrible. Greer gave him the big contract for no reason. He didn't do anything to deserve getting this money. It has hamstrung the organization, and this is how a bad organization operates. And listen, I've been a Dolphin fan since 1967. I grew up in South Florida, and this is just pathetic. And I'm going to point to two teams: the Patriots and the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
What do both of those teams have in common? A, they both have great coaches. Great move by the Pats getting Vrabel. Of course, the Broncos have Sean Payton. They both drafted great quarterbacks, as it's turned out, May and Nix. And what do we have? McDaniel and Tua. Thank you, Chris Greer. I just don't see, as long as Ross is the owner, how this franchise will ever become successful. I just don't see it. Those are my thoughts for today.
I understand you bring up a great point, because they always say scared money don't make money. Dolphins seem like they're scared sometimes. No, don't fire Chris Greer. Oh, don't do this. Oh, don't go for the end zone at the end of the first half. Kneel the ball. Can't say that about the Patriots and the Broncos. Look, Patriots saw, we don't like what's going on. We have one of the second most winningest coach in history. Won more Super Bowls than anybody. He's a legacy. Guess what? You're fired. Guess what? We're going to rebuild this thing. We're going to blow it up and rebuild. Now they're 9-2, and a lot of people saying they have a great chance to make the Super Bowl. Broncos got lapped multiple times by the Dolphins in that 70-point game. And the Broncos, everybody said, oh, they made a bad deal with Russell Wilson. They got an over-the-hill coach in Sean Payton. They weren't scared to go out there. Well, we weren't scared to go out there and get Sean Payton either, but that kind of, they weren't scared to go out there and get Sean Payton. They weren't scared to trade for him. They weren't scared to say, you know what, Russell Wilson? We owe you a lot of money. Get the hell out of here. We're going to go with a rookie. So far, it's worked out pretty good for those teams. They're not scared. Fortune favors the bold. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead.
Me?
Yes, it's you.
Oh, sorry. My name's David, and I'm driving home from the Dolphins game.
All right, what's on your mind, David?
It was at the end of the first half. Like, what the hell was that play call?
I don't know.
Why didn't we just go ahead and try and get a deep bomb to Waddle or Washington down the sideline, get out, and then either get an easier kick, like a chip shot, or maybe get it to Waller or Dole kick.
Yeah, you're right. That changes the complexion of the game. If you score a touchdown on that last play of the half, that's just a dagger for a team like the New Orleans Saints that are not going to be able to come back on you.
Then it would have been 25-0. We would have been winning 25-0 at the end of the game. And that onside kick, they wouldn't have made such a lackluster call on fourth down. They would have had to make a big play because they're probably going to need to score a second touchdown they probably need to get the ball again and make a big play.
Yeah, I think we're all seeing it right there. It's the little things that upset us. They haven't killed us yet. It is the little things that kill, and they will catch up with you. And this is the thing. The Dolphins they have to play perfect the rest of the year pretty much to make the playoffs. So you see these missteps, but they keep winning. So you have to say, okay. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Dan, this is Ryan.
Hey, Ryan, glad to hear from you. I've been waiting for your call.
I got Carol and Dave from Beer Guts 26 Degrees Trivia Team. Hey, we were at the game today, and we got absolutely drenched tailgating. Then, here's our take on the game. Carol says the coaching, the moves, all the points that you've heard already, Coach Daniel's got to go. I say Tua, he's thrown in the coverage still. Even though they got the win, he's still making bad choices. Who dat? That's our take, Dan.
Ryan, well, thank you so much. Tell everybody I said hello out there and can't wait to see you guys 26 Degree Brewing soon. And, man, I'll tell you, that's the question now, Robert Griever, and I'm getting a lot of this. Who's to blame right here? 6'7", as they say, 6'7". Is it Tua or Mike McDaniel?
Well, that's the one thing I've always wondered is, it's kind of like back in the day when you see a quarterback audibling and you're kind of wondering who made the play call that was successful or unsuccessful out there. And of course, the team will never tell you if the coach made the call or if the quarterback made the call in that situation. But I'm looking at it as you have a quarterback with a rag arm right now. You have a coordinator / head coach who basically thinks he's smarter than everybody else. And I'm kind of at the point of, going back to the good old Dennis Green talk, you are what you thought they were. And I'm looking at this team. They are overmatched, overpaid,
underperforming.
They're underperforming.
Well, this is my thing that I'm trying to figure out. Is it that Mike McDaniel's not putting Tua in a good situation, not playing to his strengths? Is that why Tua doesn't look good? So that's Mike McDaniel. Or is Mike McDaniel sometimes calling some of these plays that make no sense at all? And I'm trying not to curse because he's limited with what Tua physically can do.
But here's the question. Is Tua physically limited by himself, or is he physically limited by the organization right now?
That I don't know.
Because that's where I'm kind of looking at it. Because remember, the one thing that everybody's been saying for years with Tua is we just got to keep him healthy. And if we keep him healthy, we're going to be successful because whenever he was healthy, he's successful.
I was that way forever. I don't feel that way anymore.
But we took it to a whole nother direction there. If you look at it, we didn't just make him healthy. We also made him scared is what we did at the same time, because we basically hamstrung him and told him, hey, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. And at that point, that took away Tua from being a quarterback that he was at the time. So we don't even know who this quarterback is because it's not the Tua that we drafted, and it's not the Tua that was in Alabama. It's not the Tua that you even had in your first couple of years. This is a Tua who is out there playing managed football, and that is a totally different quarterback than what you thought you had.
Whew, I do not know. His arm strength looks absolutely terrible. His accuracy at times looks bad. And when he overthrows or he underthrows someone, first of all, by like 10 yards, that's him throwing to a spot. That's not to or that's someone going to the wrong spot. That's one of those things. But when Julian Hill is the worst example of it. Underthrows Julian Hill by 2-3 feet. That's on Tua. I'm sorry. That's on Tua. There's no excuses about that. And I want to hear from him because he has to atone for his sins. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Doug.
Hey, Doug, what's up?
This is my point. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. I've been saying that long ago that Stephen Ross is a terrible owner. He is a terrible owner. But another point, they didn't. Chris Greer did mess up with the drafts. He didn't draft the right players. And then the third thing is, I don't think the Dolphins should keep bringing Tua back year after year after. I just don't think Tua is gonna ever be a good quarterback for the Dolphins to be a winning team to get into the playoff. I just don't think so. I think we need to wash our hands, just like we did with Tannehill when we gave Tannehill so much time. Washed our hands. It's time to wash our hands with Tua. I don't. If Dolphins come out there with him in 2026, I'm not watching their games because we got to get rid of him.
Doug,
we got to start with a different quarterback. Because you know what? It's hard to call plays for a guy like that. It's hard. If you're a coach and you calling plays, it's going to be hard calling plays for a guy like that. That's why McDaniel was going to struggle calling plays as long as Tua the quarterback. I'm telling you.
Doug, I wanted to tell you this. As you speak, I think about this. At the beginning of the season, there was a lot of people saying, trade Tua if we can get him. But there's no trade market for him. And I stood up as born and raised South 7th Ward, New Orleans. I said, I know a team that would love to trade for Tua Tagovailoa if he were available. I said, New Orleans Saints will take Tua in a heartbeat. I watched the game today where rookie Tyler Shuck possibly outplayed Tua. And now as a Saints fan, I'm like, no, I don't want Tua. No, thank you. No, thank you. As a Dolphins fan, I'm debating on whether I want Tua right now because some of those throws today and what he did was just not great.
I don't see him ever being a good quarterback in the NFL. No, he had a couple of good years, and I don't think it was that speed. These teams had to get used to that speed type of offense of Dolphins. A lot of teams couldn't get used to that. When McDaniel came out with that all-speed lineup, teams couldn't get used to that stuff, and Tua was making himself look good, but it was really those speed players making it offense. That's
You're right
what it
there,
was.
Doug. The rest of the league has adjusted once again. One of the things we say about Tua and Mike McDaniel all the time, we've been waiting for this. They don't make adjustments. Mike McDaniel, his rookie year and his second year, I always made this excuse. He would have known as he gets older in his career to challenge that play against Green Bay on Christmas Day where the guy obviously didn't catch it. He's going to learn to have his personnel ready like against the Buffalo Bills in the playoff game where they weren't ready and it cost him a 4th down and they turned the ball over. He still hasn't made these adjustments. And it looks like at halftime, the team comes out and has the exact same game plan, albeit they were up 16-0. But the Saints went out, Kellen Moore went out there and he made adjustments. Saints team looked much different in the second half. Tua, it seems like the first 2 years, really good. And since people have figured him out, there's been no adjustments for Mike McDaniel or Tua. Maybe there have been. I'm not seeing him very well. That's what I get scared about.
The only adjustments that they made is putting him back out there in bubble wrap, and that's really the only adjustments that they made. I mean, because if you look at it, okay, he hasn't missed a game this year. Great. But he's not the same quarterback. You basically have tied his arm behind his back, his rag arm, and left him with the other rag arm. And that's what he's out there as. And any team that is going against him, any defensive coordinator knows we don't need to worry about a deep ball
or run.
Don't need to worry about it. So we don't need to play up in the box except for Achane. We don't need to put a scout or a spy on Tua, because guess what? He ain't taking off. And if he does take off, he's going to be sliding 2 yards in. So you're not going to have to worry about that.
That premature slide today was bad enough. But then when he started doing the first down motion, I was like, I just don't think he got the first down. And then he didn't. And then, of course, the next play, we compounded that by handing the ball off to Ollie Gordon the second and not converting on a fourth down. That would have ended the game. But we won. Once again, we won. So we have to be like, hey, we're hot right now, albeit maybe not the hot we wished we would be. 21-17 against the New Orleans Saints.